And welcome back to the Over 40s Fitness Podcast. My name's Tristan Lowe, and thanks for joining. Today's short conversation is about how your body composition could lead to social segregation. So just to be clear, your body composition could lead to social segregation. Now, my reasons and thoughts are behind this. Yesterday, it was Sunday the 10th of September, and I went to Anderby Creek seaside, which is in Lincolnshire, and it's about an hour and 20 minutes out of Lincoln City. It's a nice beachfront which I've been going to for years. And yesterday I spent a good 6 hours there. Now, what I found was that Anderby Creek is only a short distance away, driving time away from Sutton-on-Sea, Mablethorpe, Skegness, and other Lincolnshire coastlines. But specifically this part of the coastline, yesterday it was a great weather, glorious weather. Sun was out, everyone was out playing in the sea, lots of families and friends there and whatever. So, and what I saw was a relatively small amount of visible poor health. Okay, so let me just make that clear. In the 6 hours I was there, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m, I saw a relatively small amount of physical, we're talking appearance, the eye test, poor health, and that was ordinarily meaning overweight or obese or morbidly obese people. If I did the numbers, I didn't count, I've got things to do, but if I did count, we're talking maybe 1 in 10. Now, only a short time ago, this summer, I was in Mablethorpe, where I saw an extraordinarily high amount of morbid obesity, as I did in Lincoln City Centre. So yesterday was the opposite. I saw a low amount of people that were visibly overweight. Now, there'll be a multitude of factors as to why. It could have been a specific day, specific time, a month, the weather, but the facts don't lie, and the numbers add up. And my thoughts and reasons are behind this is because at Anderby Creek, when you arrive to it, there isn't a long stretch or parade of shops selling junk food, processed food, alcohol, cheap alcohol, cigarettes, vaping, poor quality clothing. They don't have that. Arcade centres, mobility centres, they don't have that there. If they do, on the numerous times I've been to Anderby, I've not seen it. Okay, now those shops that you would find in Skegness or Mablethorpe or Sutton-on-Sea even, and you don't see them at Anderby Creek. So what that does, that means that those people that are ordinarily are predisposed to be subject to and buy and are drawn to those sort of services, okay, majority of those services being unhealthy for you, because they're not there, they don't go there. Okay, so let me just be clear on that. Because there aren't a string of shops, a parade of shops and services peddling or selling, again, just to be clear as well, I'm a firm believer on capitalism. So if anyone can make money out of something that is legal, then fair play. Okay, they don't have those there. Now there might be geographical reasons why. There might be geological reasons why, or there might be social reasons, financial reasons. It might be a protected area. There may not be enough land there for them to actually start implementing those, because as we know, money talks, and people that have got influence and power over different postcodes can quite often sign off on those sort of services and businesses being brought into areas. But as it stands at the moment, that's not the case at Anderby Creek. Right, now, my thoughts are then that because those buildings and services aren't there, they don't attract those sort of people. Whereas in Mablethorpe and Skegness, and to some degree Sutton-on-Sea, and I've been to all three of those places, okay, all of those places are littered with unhealthy services that are deliberately designed to keep people unhealthy, physically, physiologically, emotionally, and again, if you believe in big man upstairs, even spiritually unhealthy. They are not designed to make you healthy. So pubs, chip shops, kebab shops, takeaways, smoking centres, vaping centres, gambling centres, they're not designed to make us healthy. They're designed to do two things, to make money in keeping people unhealthy. All right, so that's just the numbers. That's a fact. There's no ambiguity there. Junk food, alcohol, cigarettes, gambling, anything like that is not designed to make you healthy. There is no grey area on that. It's the total opposite. So, okay, the title of today's discussion then, I mentioned that your body composition could lead to social segregation. I've actually seen it now. I've seen it before up and down the UK, but now I'm 90% convinced of it. Right, so let's talk about body composition. If you are male or female, okay, over the age of, let's say 16 and over, certainly 18, but let's go right down to 16, up to the age of, I don't know, 75, 80. If you are physiologically overweight and carrying excess body fat, visceral fat, and carrying musculoskeletal injuries and symptoms of an unhealthy lifestyle, that's just the physical weight, exclusive that we can see, exclusive of whether you're a smoker, a drinker, a gambler. We're just talking excess body weight and excess fat storage. If you are someone who suffers from those symptoms, okay, disease symptom, it's more a symptom than it is a disease, okay? If you suffer from that, the numbers add up. The bounce of probability, okay, it's more likely that you are going to be drawn to places geographically or socially where people that are also physically unhealthy congregate. Now that is a classic example of what I saw yesterday. Yeah, at Anderby, I saw so many slim, healthy looking people. Now hang on, they may be unhealthy. They could have a musculoskeletal disorder or an injury or a nervous system issue or something else. But the eye test, just the optics alone, I saw a lot of slim, healthy looking people that looked lean and mobile. They were playing football on the beach, throwing frisbees, swimming. Some were even trying surfing. There were girls from Derbyshire, if I remember rightly, young women in their own family that were horse riding on the beach as well. It looked like a natural, beautiful beach setting in Lincolnshire that is geared around healthy, positive people that want a good, healthy lifestyle and a good tan and go swimming. Now, all right. You could get in a car and drive for 15 minutes or less and go to another beachfront on the same coastal line and see 99.9% the visible opposite. A beachfront that is predominantly visited by people that are visibly and physiologically unhealthy, and yet they're only a short distance from each other. Now, so that brings us back again to the title. Your body composition could lead to, at some point, social segregation. Now, I'm going to give us another example of social segregation that can actually happen as a consequence of the symptoms of being overweight, unhealthy, and obese. Right, job interviews. If an employer, okay, is looking to employ someone for a position, a job, irrespective of what the job entails, whether it be an office-based job, a labour position, physical manual labour, or something in between. If the employer interviews two people and they are both the same age, they both come from the same town, they both got the same qualifications, they can both start early, 8 a.m. on Monday morning, so the employer, okay, the owner, the director, the manager, or the HR cannot think of a reason, cannot differentiate between the two people who they should hire. If every other category there's parity between one person applying for the job and the other, and they have to choose someone, they can't take two on. Common sense and the eye test will say the employer should think what is best for the company's interests, okay? Which person is going to be more beneficial after 2 or 3 interviews, if everything else is the same, to their company. That employer will almost certainly if they're gone to the head and they are pushed to actually come up with a reason to employ one and not employ the other, it will be based on the eye test. Which one of those applicants for the job looks healthier than the other? If one applicant turns up and they are grossly, visibly overweight, and the other one doesn't, he or she isn't grossly or visibly overweight and unhealthy, that will be the reason why 9 times out of 10, that employer will actually choose the person who isn't overweight and out of shape. Because the thoughts are, the person that is visibly overweight and unhealthy is more than likely going to be ringing into work sick more often, going to be taking time off for sickness and injury, visible sickness, visible injury, mental stress, mental illness. They are more than likely of the two, okay? That is physiology and simple numbers. That's not an ideology or something I've made up. Okay, so think about that then. So that person who's gone for the job and can't understand why they didn't get the job, irrespective of the job they've gone for, and they go for another job and don't get that job, what they should do is ask the employer, ask the person who interviewed them, ask the HR department, why didn't I get that job when I was qualified for it and the other person did? And we both came from the same school, college, university, we both got the same work experience in the past. They should ask. And it is incumbent upon the person interviewing, at the very least, they could pass the buck and turn it to the owner of the company or the general manager. It is incumbent upon them to be honest and transparent and make it clear to the person applying for that job, you didn't get it because of this reason. The reason is, we think that you won't be healthy enough to work for our company and provide a great service to our clients or our customers or our buyers. Now, it could turn out that they're completely wrong, but the odds are they're not. So therein lies another example of your body composition could lead to social segregation. Now, the bookend to this discussion today is it can be an uncomfortable subject for some people to, if not address, then even think about. And that's why someone like myself, I'm paid to actually do that. That's my profession, to help people who are stuck in the rut of poor health. In the same way we go to see a dental surgeon, or we go to see a chiropractor, we go and see a physician, a doctor, a surgeon, an anaesthetist. We go and see people when we're at a state of poor health, and quite often it's when it's too late. So therefore the symptom of our poor health is actually now manifested to a state to a point when we have to go and see a specialist. Okay, now, so to finish off the conversation here today, my advice as a professional in the fitness industry is to, if you think or you've been subject to what you think could be a form of social segregation, and you can't figure out why, you've looked at every possible reason why. Some will be legit and some you've made up in your head. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I do care, but I don't know. Then always look at what is your physical appearance to somebody else. All right, whether that's in your family, your friends, your workplace, where you go for vacation. If wherever you go and you book into, on over and over again, you find yourself at the receiving end, at the wrong end of neglect or social segregation, if you find that and you can't figure out why, one of the things you could look at, or at least address, is what is your physical appearance, okay, to a stranger or to someone looking to employ you, or someone looking to work with you, under you, around you, whatever. If you're a single person and you're looking to get a date and go out on a date, whether you use conventional methods of, meeting someone, in the middle of the street, or you use the modern methods of going on these modern dating apps. I've had experience of that myself, okay? And for every 100 reasons you hear that it's a waste of time, it's not a waste of time, okay? It's not the app, it's not the dating apps, it's not the algorithms, it's not the cost, it's always the person. It's never the machinery, yeah? Or the software, or the hardware, it's the person. And there is another example of social segregation. Guys, if you're looking to get yourself a date and take someone out for a meal, a drink, go to the movies, walk in the park, whatever, if you are consistently not getting those dates, there's a reason why. You cannot blame machinery, the cost of the app. Quite often, it's another example of social segregation. Yeah, if a physically fit, attractive woman who can pick and choose who she wants for a date, okay, the numbers add up. She is not going to choose somebody who is visibly unhealthy and or overweight. So let's be clear on that. We've got a woman called whatever in England, America, Far East, Northeast, Europe, wherever. If she has enough about herself where she can pick and choose who she goes out on dates with, date 1, date 2, date 3, she is more than likely not going to go out of her way to pick a man that is visibly unhealthy. Now that could be between the age of 20 and 80. If a man is visibly unhealthy at the age of 20, he turns up and he's 5'10" and he's 18 stone, unless he's a world-class rugby player or mixed martial artist, okay, she is going to look at that and think, no matter what this guy told me on the app, no matter what this guy told me face to face, his body composition, the way that he's built, tells me something else. That he could be, he may have really poor genetics. Well, poor genetics will only cover you for so far, up until the ages of, let's say, mid-teens. After that, it's decisions, choices, lifestyle. She is going to look for somebody for the date 1 or date 2 or date 3 that isn't unhealthy. Why would anyone who can actually make a decision for themselves and choose what they think is the best, whether it be for a week, a month, a year, 10 years, I don't know. They're going to go for someone that's at the very least healthy. And there is another example of social segregation. Yeah, it's an uncomfortable subject. It's a subject that some people don't want to actually approach and talk about. Well, I'm absolutely fine with that. It's actually something that I've done. I would say I've almost studied, and participated in myself. So I've not just heard about this or read about this. I've actually experienced it myself. Okay, fortunately, on the good end. But okay, so we looked at holidays, vacations. We looked at employment and getting ahead in the workplace, and we looked at dating or social relationships with people. All three of those things are very, very important to us. In which order is up to you. But those three things we will all come across in the modern world. Nobody wants to be a social outcast. No one chooses to be a social outcast. If they do, absolutely fine. No one chooses to be unemployed. And if they do, if someone chooses to be unemployed, we'll find someone out there. They maybe choose to be unemployed because they've retired, or they've made so much money at such a young age they don't need to go and work. Or someone whose other half, earns enough money for the other person not to have to go to work. They are the rare occasions that it's justified, and there's enough evidence behind it to show that. And equally, no one wants to get to a point when, if they choose to look for a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband or wife, significant other, word it how you want, if they choose to and make an effort to get one, and they are of their own decision looking to actually meet someone for a date, a relationship, or even further down the line, marriage, then that person has made that decision, and they don't want to be in the receiving end day in, day out, week in, week out of rejection. Okay, so there's a multitude of reasons why we get that on traveling, on vacations, in the workplace, in social aspects. And there'll be 101 more reasons why, and some of them justified. But one of them that is an absolute fact every time is your physical health will over a space of time, it could socially segregate you from so many different parts of life, and some that I've not even thought of. You may know of them yourself. Okay, so, right, do something about it. Start tomorrow morning. Go through your kitchen. Get rid of all the bad food. Yeah, get rid of all the cigarettes, get rid of the vaping, get rid of the alcohol, get rid of the processed food, the junk food, get rid of distractions, things that are designed to stop you from moving forward with a good, healthy, enjoyable life. Remove all of those things, one thing at a time or all tomorrow morning. You choose how you want to do it, okay? If you can't, feel free to contact me, direct message me, contact me, I'm fine. I've got a very thick skin, all right? I've heard a lot of stories, seen a lot of people, and I'm fortunate enough to train a lot of people in personal training, that the psychology of personal training is just as important as the physiology, the physical side of it. And that's the side that I really enjoy as well. Understanding on what makes a client tick and what makes them, what turns someone off. Finding out, okay, what I can do to actually help somebody implement something in their life which will make changes for them to be healthier. It's not an overnight success. It's not an overnight thing to do. It takes time, effort, sacrifice, self-discipline. It takes all of those things from both a client and from a trainer. We work together on how to do it. Now, the three categories that I've talked about today, you may feel that you don't fall into any of those three categories, but I can guarantee you at some point you will do. Yeah, if not all three, then one or another one. So don't let your body composition lead to social segregation. My name's Tristan Lowe. Thanks for watching this, what was going to be short, but it's now a 20-minute video. Feel free, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and share my podcast, the Over 40s Fitness Podcast with Tristan Lowe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.